All right, it happens to all of us, right? You're scrolling, you see something you'd like to buy online, and then you just let it sit in the cart. Here to help explain why we do that, why we just let things sit in our online shopping carts, consumer expert Morgan Ward. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
So first off, why do we as shoppers make that move to snag something we feel like we need, then we just don't close the deal?
Really, it's for a form of self-control. It's sort of like testing out whether you want something and giving yourself a beat before you actually commit to it. So consumers do it all the time as a way of kind of determining whether they actually want to own.
That makes me laugh because I'm thinking I have things in my cart, but my kids would never let it just sit there. So we have a little more self-control than the young ones around us maybe. So it sounds like retailers, though, are starting to be aware of this. How are they working to flip that impulse into a sale?
Yeah, so the best retailers realize that this is part of the consumption process. They don't kick your stuff out of your cart. So when you go back to it, you have no idea what you actually started out with. And what they're doing is incentivizing consumers. So reminding you with like subtle nudges that you could get 10% off, or maybe something left your cart, but it could be put back in. So kind of helping the consumer finalize the purchase process.
Yeah, I've definitely gotten those notices like time's running out. You better buy it now. But money's tight. Money's tight. Things are expensive right now. We're hearing of some shoppers knowingly buying fakes, especially with luxury items, but it's for a unique purpose in some cases.
Yeah, so people are buying luxury items, but they're allowing themselves to buy things that are fake. So for instance, if you remember the work-in bag craze of last year, it was a Walmart bag that looked like a Birkin and people went nuts for it. And there's lots of other examples as well. So I see people walking around with t-shirts that have purposely misspelled the word Prada, etc. And it's kind of a reference that the consumer understands the desire for having something beautiful, but they don't want to spend their entire salary on being an advertisement for some of these brands. So they're pretty explicit, like this is fake, but
I
the
do
more
that.
you tell people it's fake, the more that you seem authentic.
You know, it's funny. I was just thinking I'm wearing these earrings and someone said, I love your earrings. I said, oh, they're just shiny glass. They're totally fake, you know. How do consumers rationalize buying fakes, though, if they still say that they're craving some kind of authenticity?
Yeah, the authenticity is really the fact that you're revealing that it's fake. You're not pretending that it's real, just like you said.
Yeah.
You're telling people, I'm wearing this and you can have access to it too, right? So I'm not sort of like super high status. I just have access to this because it's a price that we can all afford.
Yeah, no doubt. It's why I wear these in the parking lot of the Dollar Tree. All right, speaking of how shoppers behave, it seems like it's all about taking to TikTok to sell your product. Talk about its changing way the folks are searching for products and information there before we go.
Yeah, so people have started adopting TikTok as kind of the new Google, especially in the youngest age group. So like Generation Z, Generation Alpha, even the youngest millennials, rather than Googling, they search for products, services, even ideas and entertainment on on TikTok instead of Google, because there's so many easier ways to process the information. You get it from influencers, you can see things, you can see before and after. So it's a really rich form of search.
Another way brands are having to rethink how they show up, especially on that platform, I bet.
Yeah, they have to start telling stories about themselves, partnering with influencers, remembering their hashtags. So brands have to be really strategic about this.
All right, Morgan Ward, always so interesting. Appreciate all of your insight in the consumer world that sure is changing dramatically day by day. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you so much.